So, this episode is more of me just telling you where I'm at, as opposed to giving advice or any sort of insights. If you follow me on social media, you'll know that I've been posting a lot less recently, and quite a lot of stuff about me going through a rough time, going through struggle town. And I've had a couple of requests to share where I'm at on a podcast. So this is it. So basically, I've had, over the last couple of months, a deteriorating mental state. And this is basically on a day-to-day thing. I'm sort of, quote unquote, fine. But every week or twice a week, I've been just losing it. Having bouts of, I'm not even sure what you'd call it, but it accumulates in me feeling quite suicidal and quite like committing self-harm. And to be honest, it's scary, because in those moments, I feel quite lost. I feel quite trapped. Friends have been asking me to explain to them what it sort of feels like. And the only sort of analogy is that I always have not always, I often have negative thoughts running through my mind, or thoughts that aren't me, but I can detach from them. I'm not quite connected to them. I'm here and the thoughts are over there. The problem is, though, when I'm feeling not so great, is that those thoughts become stronger. It's like I associate with them more. The analogy I like is that, do you know how you have a big toe? You're not the big toe, you're the thing that has the big toe, right? The same thing, you're not your thoughts, you're the thing that's having the thoughts. The problem is that when I'm not in a good headspace, when I'm feeling bad, and what's been happening is that I've been connecting to those thoughts like I am them. And that has gotten so bad and so significant that I've booked myself in to see a psychiatrist. And this is coming in a couple of weeks, because I feel that without medical intervention, without something changing, I'm not going to be in a good headspace. I don't know what's going to happen. So I figure I should take action now. One of the bits of advice that I like to give is that you need to try everything first before you end your life, because, what's the point, right? You need to actually try everything. Now, I'm not at that stage, but those thoughts are coming and they're getting stronger, and I want to act before I can't act. So I need to put things into place. In terms of medication and that sort of stuff, I have been on medication before, so I was like, why aren't I already on them? In the past, I've tried medication and it just didn't, it took out the lows, but it also took out the highs. It made me not really want to do anything. It's sort of like, I didn't want to kill myself, but nothing felt good. It was like I was living in this middle band of life. It was just meh. It kept me alive, but didn't really give me a meaning or a reason to live. Now, back at the time, I didn't have a good psychologist. I didn't have a good mental health plan. I didn't know, 99% of the stuff I know now about self-care or anything like that. I hadn't read the books, and I didn't have a good therapist on board. So, looking at it again, I think that now that I've got better people in place and better systems in place and a better understanding, I might be better able to manage it. That being said, I am scared because the effects of medication, the side effects, were terrible. All the different ones I tried just hurt. It was just horrible. Coming onto them, coming off them, all of that sort of stuff. So it's not something I'm taking lightly. However, in the interim, I decided to put myself on St. John's wort, and the brand that I got is 2,700 milligrams per tablet. Now, I looked up the clinical trials, and they did a clinical trial with 900 milligrams and saw a significant result. So I've split that tablet in half, and I'm taking it half per day. So I'm actually getting way more of the dosage than the clinical trials, but that was what was on the packet. And, well, I'm actually taking half of what's on the packet. It's irrelevant. The thing is I've noticed a significant difference already in terms of my dreams are very vivid, and very crisp. I feel like I'm able to sit with negative emotions better, both of myself and of other people. If someone around me is upset, I will be very much wanting to help, very much wanting to fix it. But now it's like, no, I can see that it's on them. That's their thing. I'll offer, I'll try, but if they don't want to accept, or something's up, or they're just struggling, that's okay too. It's their thing to deal with, and I'm able to sit with that. I'm able to better see tone and body language as for what they are, as opposed to them being a personal attack or taking things personally. I feel like it's given me a bit of resilience. So I hope that continues. I'm going to speak to the psychiatrist and tell them that I'm on that, and ask them for some sort of assistance, either with SSRIs, which I'm not 100% comfortable with, like I said, or something that I can take in the moment if I know that I'm getting to be in a bad way. So that could be like a Valium, or something that would just be like, okay, in this instance, you need to do something to fix it. Like I need something like something to just stop this right now. Right now, I've used alcohol or weed to do the same thing, and that's works, but it's not ideal. It's not. The side effects of those aren't ideal, both short and long term. So I'm looking for something that will keep my mood stable. Maybe that's the St. John's wort. Maybe it's not. But perhaps there could be something else. So basically, I just wanted to give you guys that update. I will get back into posting more and talking more and sharing more and all of that sort of stuff. However, I just feel for the moment I'm not in the headspace to be able to find the motivation. Like I take, like I said, I've started the St. John's wort, and I also take valerian as a way to cut down the anxiety. However, today and yesterday, I, for whatever reason, fell asleep in the middle of the day, and that never happens with me. But it has done, so I'm trying to work out, well, am I just very relaxed? Is it a medication thing now? I've stopped taking coffee as well, because every time I have a coffee, it just messes with me super hardcore. So I'm having more tea. Am I not having enough tea? I don't know. I'm in a bit of a state of flux. So for everyone that's used to more regular posting, I apologise. And I will get back to it once I've got this stuff sorted. I'm seeing my psychologist in 2 weeks, my psychiatrist in 3, or a bit less now, I suppose. And I hope to get this sorted, because I know that if I don't get it sorted, bad stuff can happen, and I don't want bad stuff to happen, basically. Finally, I really appreciate the amazing amount of direct messages and comments and connections that people have been giving me. It just really makes me feel seen and heard and cared for. So, thank you for everyone who has taken the time to message and connect. I'm trying to respond to everyone. Like I said, sometimes they get missed. Other times I'm not in the headspace, and I might click and read it and see it and not respond, meaning to respond later, or that sort of stuff. But if you have messaged me, I really am seeing them. I really am grateful. So thank you. So yeah, I will get back to the regular posting schedule and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, catch ya.